Are you a bit of a workaholic? Do you find yourself close to exhaustion and still keeping going? I do. I have this trouble. I love my work and I often find it difficult to stop, but I am trying to do less more beautifully. Wish me luck. This story, which is taken from one of the Andrew Lang fairy books, I heard a number of years ago, and I came across it again recently, and it really touched me and inspired me, and I wonder if it will do the same for you. Let's see if you enjoy it. So, as with many stories I like, it was long ago, it was far away. And in my story, there was a man and a woman. They had been together for very, very many years, Artur and Jenny, and they loved each other very much. They got cross with each other. They adored one another and hated one another, as often happens when somebody has been with somebody else for a very long time. And they worked side by side, as their parents had before them and their grandparents before that. They worked on the land. They ploughed, they sowed, they gathered. They enjoyed the sunshine and the rain, and they worked hard. They were up at daybreak every day of the year, and they would chop and mend and find and gather. And all of this time they'd been together many, many years. They had hardly got more than a few pennies to rub together. And one night as they sat in front of the fire and Jenny knitted and Artur was sanding a piece of wood, they sighed and looked at each other. Lady Fortune is the most stubborn creature we've ever come across. Why, when we work so hard, do we find that she never visits us? And Artur was very, very weary. And he said to Jenny, "Tomorrow I'm not getting up." And she knew what he meant. She was aching and weary herself. And as they climbed the stairs, he said it again. "Tomorrow I'm not getting up. That's it. I'm done. I'm staying in bed and Lady Fortune can find me there." In the morning, at daybreak, Jenny got out of bed because she knew that actually in the morning things always looked better. But Artur didn't stir. She came downstairs, she got breakfast ready, and still he wasn't there. So she went back up. "Artur," she said, "it's morning, come. You have work to do, we have to chop those logs." "No," he said, "I've told you I'm not going anywhere." Well, she was really shocked. She had never known this in all the time they'd been together. But you need to get up," she urged him, over and over again, and still. He shook his head. He turned over and put the blankets over the top of his head. "I'm going nowhere." She thought that maybe by lunchtime he would have changed his mind, but still, he didn't move. A knock came at the door, and Artur and Jenny's friend, Adam, had come. I wonder if Artur would come and help me," said the old man. "I've got a very big job on, and I need his help, and I could do with the help of his 2 donkeys as well." "Well, you're very welcome to go and try," said Jenny, "but he's been upstairs in his bedroom and I've no idea what's happening." "All right then," said Adam. And he went upstairs and he shook Artur. "Come and help me, mate. I need this help now, if you wouldn't mind, and can I borrow your donkeys and we can all go together?" "Go," he said, "go take the donkeys. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here." "Oh," Adam was really shocked. He'd never known anything like it either. Well, can I borrow your donkeys then? Because I could do with that." Yeah, take them. I'll pay you," said Adam. Yeah, whatever," said Artur. And Adam went off. And he went across the fields and over around the mountain. And in the forest, he had to gather a great deal of wood, of sticks, to go and sell in the market. But as he did, one of the donkeys stumbled over a pile. And when Adam had a look, there were hundreds of gold and silver coins, and he couldn't believe it. And he looked, and there they were, and it was, he was amazed. And he gathered it all up and he loaded it into the panniers of the 2 donkeys that he'd borrowed from Artur and Jenny. And still there was more and more and more. He had unearthed an enormous treasure, and he was delighted, although also very nervous because this land belonged to the emperor. He piled more and more gold and silver into those packs, and he was coming as quickly and as quietly as he could through the forest, where there ahead of him were all of the emperor's men and the emperor himself. In a panic, Adam patted the bottoms of the 2 donkeys and sent them off at a gallop, and he went in the other direction. He ran as fast and as far as he could, and he didn't stop until he was in another country. Well, way before he got to where he was going, the 2 donkeys made their way back home. Of course, that's where they're fed. And when they got back home, Jenny saw them out of the window and called to Artur. "Well, the donkeys are back, but I can't see Adam." "Come," she said. "Not going anywhere," shouted Artur down from the bedroom. And Jenny went outside. "My goodness, those panniers are full to bursting. These poor donkeys, we must get them off now." But she couldn't move them. She lifted up one of the sacks, and there she saw, glinting in the sunlight, all of the silver and the gold. "I can't believe it," she said. "Now he will move." And she ran upstairs to Artur. "Please come down. There is gold and silver aplenty. We will never have to work as long as we both live." "Now," Artur pricked up his ears. Now he stretched and pulled down the blankets. "Now I get up," he said, and he came down the stairs, and there, gold and silver as I'd imagined. "I can't believe it," he said. Well, what do you know? And as they began to take all of the treasure out of those sacks, Lady Fortune, what do you know? I have spent years and years working, toiling, bending my back, and not a sight or an inkling of her. And then I stay put for a day, and she arrives. "Yes," said Jenny. "Go figure. I tell you what, maybe we were working so hard we didn't have time to let her catch up with us, to let her find us." They both agreed, although they loved working, that they would rest so that Lady Luck could find them. Go well.